All right, hello, welcome back to the stream, everybody. So, we're going to continue on with the artifact system today that I left off with yesterday. But before I get into it, I want to remind everyone that Gunforged is available for sale. It's my first real commercial release as a full-time indie game developer. So, download the demo, give it a try. If you like it, then definitely consider purchasing it. It would help me out a lot. And you can also get Gunforged as part of a bundle for a combined discount. And if you're interested in learning how to build a complete game in the Godot engine, I've got my Udemy courses. I've got a GDScript course, which is this one here, as well as a C# course. The courses have thousands of students, thousands of ratings. You can just read the reviews if you're interested in seeing. But yeah, that's a great way of supporting me as well. So use those links in the description below if you're interested in that. I appreciate the support. And with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into it. So yeah, we left off yesterday trying to make this poison heal artifact, which is going to need to track poison damage and apply healing to the player. So that's what we're going to be working on, and actually I have it written down here. So where is it? Right, it's in here. So yeah, this one. Starting combat encounter with 1 health, all poison damage heals equal to damage dealt. So we've already got this first half done. It's the second half that we need to do now. So yeah, that's what we got to figure out. And I think it's going to be relatively tricky, so we shall see how it goes. But before I get into that, hello Luca, welcome back. We always love to see the yup message. We're going to be waiting here for the yummers as well here shortly, I'm sure. Hello, Dragon Apple. Welcome back. Good to see you. Any Key, good to see you as well. Okay. So how are we actually going to do this? So we have this on damage dealt. Excuse me. Do I want to do something like this? Again, the problem is I can't really use signals for this, because if I want to await some kind of effect that the artifact is doing, that's going to be very difficult if I just make the artifact respond to signals. The artifact actually needs to be like injected into the logical flow in some way. So we've got this board combat component. This is where all the damage is being dealt. And what I might do actually is, what do I want to do? Damage necrosis. I think what I might do here is, instead of, well, here's the tricky thing. Target board combat component damage necrosis. I might create like a damage context object. Ooh, how is that going to work? I might create like a damage context object or a damage args or something, and make all of these various damage methods private, so that there's one method through which all the damage requests flow, and then that can trigger artifacts. But the problem is now that this needs to be... Oh no. I actually don't think I'm going to be able to support async await in here. Because these execute methods are not... These execute methods are not asynchronous. So like in the damage here, when this damage gets applied, it gets damaged immediately. So what I might have to do is, how is this actually flowing? Whoops. Base card. Notify ability executed. So there's actually two places. So there's card abilities that I want to listen for, but also status ticks that I want to listen for. So maybe what I might do instead is... this is tricky. The poison doesn't deal damage until the next turn after it's applied. So what I might do is instead of... So we got damage poison. Shoot. How is this going to work? Hello. Oh, wait. I already said hello to you, Luca. What does $% mean in GDScript? I think that's unnecessary. I think you can just use %. But the % is it's a way of accessing the unique scene name. So I think I made that mistake in the course, if I'm not mistaken. So you could just use the %. You don't need to use the $. The $sign is shorthand for getting a node path. Hello, Arion. Welcome back. Hello, Craig. Good to see you. Neozoid lurking. Welcome, welcome. I think this is going to be rather tricky, everybody. So we need a separation between, well, do we want to do that? Damage poison. Let's see, where is this called? Status component. Okay, board combat component, damage poison. Maybe I will do a damage context in here. I think that's going to be the simplest way to do it. Yeah, I think that's the only way I can think of doing it. Hello, cat. Hello, cat. Hello, K-Clouds. Hi from the office. Hello from my office as well. I think if I go with the damage context thing, so if I rework this to have a single public method that accepts a damage context object, that's going to make things easier, but I'm not sure. Artifact manager. So get this on combat started here. That happens there. Do I want to put that in the board combat component? Oh boy, I don't know what to do here. I don't know, this is a tricky thing. There's another problem, which is that, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't be... I wonder if I shouldn't be reaching out to these target boards directly in like the poison status. Poison status. All right, well, let's just try it that way. Let's just try it the way that I'm thinking of, and... I mean, we could ask the AI. Let's see what happens when we ask the AI. How do I change the ask mode? Here we go. Board combat component, and then add context artifact manager. Add context base artifact. I have an artifact system that needs to be notified of when certain damage types are dealt so that the artifact logic can be executed if applicable. In this instance, I need to be aware of when poison damage is dealt and take some action inside of... I can't use at. Poison heal. Recommend a maintainable and scalable way of implementing such a notification system. Let's see what it suggests. Hello, MyCoonDev. There's a humble bundle with 22 C#.NET books for $16. Nice. That's very useful. Thank you for bringing that to everyone's attention. Azir. Lurky. Welcome, Adam. Good to see you again. Damage event manager. I don't want to use events for this. It's basically going to suggest what I was going to do. Yeah. That's basically what I was going to do. All right, well, that's okay. That's okay. Let's do this then. Public class damage context. Public damage type. Damage type. Public int. Damage amount. What else do I need? Public bool is crit. Critical hit. What else do I need? Anything else? I think that's basically it. Okay, so then I'll create a public... So the shield damage is going to be interesting. I might need to deal with that later, but public void damage. That works. Poison, necrotic fire. Okay. I don't want to handle the shield here. So then we can make all these private. Private void. Heal is going to be public. Heal to full is going to be public. Okay. So that should be fine. And then in here, what I would do, artifact manager, or rather base artifact. On damage dealt. Damage context. Okay, so damage, so yeah, now I need to replace all of those things, but I think this should be fine. Yeah, I think this should be fine. So in here, this dot get artifact manager dot on damage. Oh, I see. Where is my artifact manager here? Public async task on damage dealt. Board to board. And then what? Damage context. Damage context. So this will work, I think. Yes. Do I have the board owner here? Board combat component. Yeah. On damage dealt. Owner as board. Damage context. Cool. All right, that should work. Now this isn't going to be a problem because this is awaitable. So I need to, do I need to make this awaitable? Actually, I don't think I can do that. So this is not going to be awaitable at all. var artifact in artifacts. Artifact.base artifact.on damage dealt. To board damage context. We're going to make this not return a task. Then my poison heal here. Damage context. Okay. Now I have to fix all these errors. Damage type equals damage type dot poison. Damage amount equals damage. And then is crit can remain false. We'll call damage here. Okay. So I'm going to need to keep damage shield the way that it is. var damage context. I will probably need to be notified of that at some point, but we are going to worry about that later. Remaining damage. Yes. Okay. We're getting there. Hello, Kipper Falcon. I'm using AI to create some functions that I don't know how to create. Is that ethical? I avoid overuse, but what do you think about it? Well, I don't know if it's a question of ethics. I mean, you have to be careful not to let it do things that you don't understand. What I would do is, yeah, have the AI write the function for you and then also have it explain the function so that you understand what it's doing. Because you still want to be careful to actually learn what you're putting in your code base. So yeah, I would say just be cautious with it. Don't let it write things that you don't understand. Make an effort to understand what it's doing. And then hopefully that will be fine. Kitty indeed, yes. Hello, Marcos. Welcome back, good to see you. So I gotta fix all these places too. That'll work. All right. Poison heal. Physical. Okay. That should work. Is there anywhere else that I'm missing? I'm sure there is. Let's build and see where it's going to tell me the issues are. Okay, looks like we're just missing fire. Damage. Okay. So let's see if we can get healing working now. So on damage dealt, damage context. So the player board, so this is going to have to be if to board artifact context. Why do I not have the artifact context? Oh, I'm going to need to pass the artifact context into here as well. Look at a board combat component. Get the artifact manager. Hello? Get artifact manager. Thank you. Okay. So then the base artifact here, artifact context, okay. If toBoard is equal to player board, then we're just going to return. We don't want that to be the case. If damage context dot damage type is not equal to poison, then we're going to return out of there. We're going to heal now for the damage dealt. Damage context dot damage amount. Is crit is false. Okay. I have no clue if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. I don't even know if this is possible. Let's see. Poison heal. Let's get rid of these things here. var, what did I call it? What did I call it? Card registry. What is it called? Why can I not remember the name of the dagger? Oh, ceremonial dagger. That's what it's called. So we'll add a second one. Ceremonial dagger 2. Cool. All right, let's see if this works. Hello, Aniran. Half the number of viewers compared to yesterday. Yes, well, the 60 or so viewers came in later, so we'll see. Yeah, it might increase, but 30 is a good number. Does this have to do with the video regarding game review, the increased number of viewers? I think so, yeah. Typically, I get a bump, I think, in live stream viewers after I release a video, especially if the video is relatively popular. But, yeah, I'm not too concerned about it. Let's put these in here. Let's just put an echo enchant on these. Increase board size. Yes, we'll do this. All right, let's see if this works. So begin, my health goes down to 1. Ooh, there we go. It's working. Look at that. Nice. Cool. So that is working. Just make sure other things are working as well. We obviously have to draw some art for it, but we will figure that out. Here we go. Add enchantment to card. Critical multiplier enchant. Poison enchant on this one. All poison applied is increased by 1. How does that work? Modify global status. I don't know if that enchantment makes sense, but that's okay. Naturally, it's always going to fluctuate, but to be honest, far more productive when the viewership is lower. Yeah, for sure. Yep, that's definitely true, Craig. All right, let's see what happens. Boom. Oops, I died, yeah. So obviously this artifact might need some tuning because it sets you to 1 health, which is very hard to like ramp up from. But what I could do is set it to like 25% health instead. Actually, I might do that. Let's see. So if I go to my poison heal, instead of doing damage amount, let's do player health minus mathf dot floor to int player health times 0.25 or no 0.75. Then we'll go in here and we'll say start combat with 25% health. All poison damage dealt heals for the same amount. So instead of starting it at 1, we'll just start it at a quarter. So you get a bunch of massive healing, but you start off a lot worse. Is the whole point of this artifact. And it probably will need further tweaking, especially as I build out the game some more, but let's see. Oh, that didn't work. Did I do my math wrong? Oh, I can just do this. Oops. Okay, max health increase. Let's do that. We'll just click through these things. Upgrade a card. Boom. Boom. Begin. Boom. Yeah, that looks much better. So now I have some padding here as I'm building up the poison. It's healing me. Great. Look at that. Sweet. That might require further tweaking at some point, but we'll just leave it for now. Okay, so poison, heal, artifact, functional. I'm not entirely in love with how that was implemented, but, you know, as this artifact system grows, we will have to figure it out. But at least now I've got the artifact behavior kind of isolated to this class, so it's better than it could be. That's for sure. Noise. Yes, indeed. Welcome, Victor. I once saw broken pottery at some arty museum. There's a little sign next to it to explain the artifacts. Oh, wow. Nice joke. Very good pun. Very good. Artifacts. Let's see. Do the swords indicate boss fights? No, those are just normal fights. I don't have the boss encounter icon there yet. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do. So here I want to do like a venom. Call it poison heal. But I think it would be cool to try doing like a venom vial. Oh, and there's no way to perfectly center this either. It's okay. What am I trying to do here? Something like that, I think. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, something like that could work. All right. yeah, I think this is working. I need to figure out what to do about this glass part, though. Yeah, that doesn't look too good. I'm kind of wary of using the same color as the liquid inside because it's going to be maybe too much, but let's see. Actually, I think that looks fine. I almost wonder if I should do... Nope. I think it looked better before. I think, yeah, this probably looked better, actually. Just the way that it was here. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that is fine. Boom. So, yeah. I guess we'll just call that good. So I can just export this whole thing. This is already made unique, so I just need to go in here, edit region. Uh-oh, I messed it up. There we go. All right, let's see what it looks like. Yeah, so there's our little vial there. Cool. All right, that's looking good. So... I do need a way of displaying, so there's a couple of problems here. I don't have a way of displaying a description for these things, and I also don't have a way of them actually being chosen in-game. So maybe that's the next thing I should work on before I create more artifacts, is just, you know, try to figure out what's going on. And actually, I might make a little tweak here real quick. I might make this a little bit more rounded. Does that look better? I think it's fine the way it was. We'll just leave it. We'll just leave it. So I think that's fine. So yeah, I need a way of collecting artifacts in the game and also displaying their information. Ugh, that's going to be more UI elements. Oh, my kryptonite. I think I have an artifact container, yeah, which creates an artifact display placeholder here. Let's see. Okay, so let me commit that. Artifacts. So maybe we'll work on showing the description for the object. That's going to require, again, some new UI elements. which I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to accomplish. Probably will just be... I'm kind of torn between doing the same full screen kind of description and just doing like a hover state. So here I can right click on a card and that brings up a full screen like description, but that's because there's a lot of information going on here. I think that this just needs to show it's like 2-sentence description. So I might make that a hover tooltip instead. What does everyone think? Should I do the same full screen or should I do the hover tooltip? Any opinions on that? I'm thinking probably hover will be fine, but yeah, there's a couple of problems there, I guess. Hover would be nice. That's 1 vote for hover. That's 2 votes for hover tooltip. Hover. Okay, all right, we got hover unanimous. Okay, well, all right, tell you what, give me just 2 minutes. Oh, hold on a second. My partner brings in a designer who is originally UI UX, don't have experience in game dev. He tried with several iterations, but still couldn't make me want to develop it. Is it time to go solo? Partner brings in a designer who is originally several iterations, but still couldn't make me want to develop it. Is it time to go solo? I mean, I can't make that decision for you, especially as it relates to game development. I don't know if I should be giving people recommendations to go into solo dev if I haven't yet been successful in it. I mean, I think the fact that you're asking that question means that, yeah, you probably should, if you don't like the working environment, but I can't offer any good advice there. I mean, the reason I like working on my project solo is because then I can make all the decisions and fail and succeed on my own and not have to, like, you know, worry about being on the same page as somebody else or that kind of thing. Just ape whatever Slay the Spire does. I could, yeah. What does Slay the Spire do? My only gripe with hover is controller support. Yeah, controller support is going to be a nightmare for this game. If I ever add it, just an absolute nightmare. I don't know, do games like Balatro, does Balatro have controller support? I guess I wouldn't be surprised if it does. It does have full controller support. Oh no. I don't want to think about controller support right now. That makes me sad. Would they know they have to hover over it? I think that would be kind of a natural thing to do. But everyone wants to do hover, so okay. All right, so tell you what, give me 2 minutes. The cat is begging me for food because he once again did not keep his food down this morning. So I'm going to try to feed him again so he stops bugging me. But I'll also get a new drink and all that good stuff. So give me just 2 minutes. I'll be right back and we will continue on with making the hover tooltips for this thing. In the meantime, please check out the links in the description below. Those are all the ways you can support me. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Thank you for your patience, everybody. So, Slay the Spire has controller support. You press a button to go into UI browsing mode, and you can D-pad between the relics to hover them. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I might have to do something like that. Some games it's a button to open a tooltip, other times it's automatically show the tooltip. What controller support is fun to make most of the time? Yeah. Controller support. Ugh, controller support. It's not fun. It was not fun adding controller support to Gunforged. I did not enjoy it. So let's add some tooltips to this thing then. Artifact display placeholder. This might need to be... I might change this. Change this to a control node. And then add a sprite 2D. Not centered. We'll just do a placeholder texture here. We'll just copy this. Paste. Oops. I copied the wrong thing. Paste this in here. There we go. Oh, this is an outline. Let's do this. Oh, this is the canvas group outline. Sorry, the cat is distracting me. I'm trying to make sure he doesn't, you know, empty his stomach all over my floors. Anyway, so here's the way that I'm going to do this. I'm going to need a different... Going to need a different shader for this because this is a canvas group shader, which is not going to work in this case. Can I rename this safely? Rename this to canvas group outline. Rename this to canvas group outline. Duplicate this to normal outline. Get rid of screen texture. Texture. Texture pixel size. Texture pixel size. Texture. Okay, did I do it correctly? So we're gonna do a sprite 2D. Let's just create a new material. Outline.tres. Bring the outline shader into there. I hope I didn't break anything. But anyway, and then this outline needs to be local to scene. Open this up, boom, and I broke it. Okay, so I did something wrong here. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Oh, texture pixel size here. I think I missed one. And this is UV. There we go. It's not quite working. Where else do I have any screen references? I guess I can search. This might be an issue. I think I need some extra, if I'm going to apply an outline shader to this, I think I need extra padding because it's an atlas texture. I think it's getting the next image over, which is that shovel, but also this is not working. Add margins definitely isn't working. So I think the simple way to do this is I'm going to need to redo the padding, I think. So we'll get rid of add margins there. Anyway, yeah, we'll get rid of add margins. And then we'll have to go into here and probably extend this. So sprite, canvas size. So I'll make each one, let's just do 24 by 24. So we'll do 240 by 240. And then view grid 24 by 24. And we'll just center these inside of that grid. So booster, option. Is this centered? 3, 3, 3, 3. This one's going to be off-centered a little bit, but this is 3 and 3, 6 and 6. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to re-export that with the padding built in now. And we're going to have to update those booster options. So let's do this. Let's do 24 by 24. Cool. Poison heal. Edit region 24, 24. There we go. Okay, there we go. So that looks much better. So I still want to center this around this though. So this is 24 by 24 and this is 18 by 18. So I need to offset it by 3, right? So -3, -3, so that it still sits nicely inside of that 18 by 18. There we go. All right. Jeepers. So now that all that's in place, let's do icon. I'm gonna need to change this to a control. Node private sprite 2D icon. Icon.texture is equal to artifact.art. The other thing I'm gonna need to do is public override void ready. Hold on a second. Okay. So I need to grab that material. Outline material. Equal to icon dot as shader material. Set the icon dot material equal to null. And now when we hover over it, we're going to need to apply that material. So GUI input plus equals private void on GUI input EVT. Oh wait, no, I don't want to do that. I want to just do mouse entered. Mouse entered plus equals on mouse entered. Icon.material is equal to outline material. Oh, gotta get rid of this input event here. Okay, private void on mouse exited. Icon.material is equal to null. Oops. Okay, what happened? Let's see if that works. Cool. So yeah, that's working great. So now we've got highlighting happening on hover. So now we just got to show a tooltip for that. Artifact highlight on hover. All right, the tooltip, that's going to be the tricky thing, really. You could do Destiny's UI cursor. That would probably work well with the drag and drop to board. Yeah, UI cursor is an option, but I'm not sure about that. Sorry to hear your stopping issues. The cat must suck. Yeah, I mean, he was fine, and now his nausea has come back, so we'll figure it out, I suppose. Good morning, Christopher. Good morning. So, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I don't really have a style for the tooltip in place yet. So how do I want to do this? Maybe I'll just do something very basic for now. Panel container. I think I can do this. Theme override styles panel. New style box flat. BG color that. Border that. Border width 1 pixel all the way around. Add child node, what? Margin container. Four, 4, 4, 4, 4, add label. And then what? In here. I think that'll work. Auto wrap word, and then we'll set a minimum size here. That'll probably work. I set the minimum size on the wrong element. Let's see. Where is the custom? Oh, it's over here. There we go. All right. So now the artifact container, let's get a reference to this tooltip. So panel container, node, panel, private panel container, panel container. Panel container.visible is equal to false. And then we need to artifact display placeholder. Yeah, we're going to want to connect to that. So signal public delegate void. Signal public delegate void mouse exited. Exited event handler. Emit signal mouse entered. I guess I could just connect to it directly, but that's okay. So in here, I'm going to pass in the artifact resource. And then in here, we'll accept those things. Cool. So now I need to take the artifact resources text and add it to the label. So what did I call this? Private label tooltip label. Make sure to access that as a unique name. Tooltip label dot text is equal to artifact resource dot description. Let's see if that works. That did not work. 1 second, BRB. Okay. When you make a commit, does that update all the files that has been changed and make a new backup per, say, on Git? Never used Git. Yeah, it adds it to the history. So the history is like a tree. It's I don't know the internals of how Git works. I actually don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it stores the entirety of the project on each commit, or if it just stores the diffs and then reconstructs the project based on like what commit you want to check out. Actually, don't know how it works. But anyway, yeah, you can basically think of each commit as being a snapshot of the project at the point in time. You can commit, or you can check out that commit, which means to like pull down the project at that commit, and you get the project as it exists, as it existed at that commit. Generally, do you see a difference in compilation times when you use GDScript versus C#? Bought your C# course yesterday and haven't started yet, but looking to get into game dev. Yeah, I mean, the compilation time is definitely, like, GDScript is an interpreted language, so it doesn't compile. I'm at least not in the way that C# does. But so yeah, there's definitely like a delay, especially with larger projects when you want to run it. There's a compilation time. It's relatively fast, a couple of seconds at most, but it's still noticeable. Do you plan on adding support for multiple screen resolutions, or just accept that some users will experience black borders? I can probably support... No, probably black borders, actually. I don't know. I haven't thought about that yet. I'd have to figure that out. I should learn it. Yeah, for sure. It makes copies, if I recall right. It's the reason we use Perforce, not Git, for that reason. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So it just creates a copy of the entire project every time, which is fine if all you're doing is like text files and small assets. But anyway, I unfortunately am going to end the stream right here. My cat is full on sick again, so now I have to go. My entire day is going to be about that. So anyway, so sorry for the short stream. I wish I could have gone more, but I have other things to attend to, I suppose. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. And again, if you want to support my work, you can check out Gunforged on Steam. And it's my first full release as first commercial release as a full-time indie dev. So check that out, purchase it, leave a review if you're so inclined. Thank you again for your support. Thank you for the good wishes, best wishes, and all that stuff. And let's see, Git is a distributed system, meaning that each developer has a local copy of the entire repository and its history, while Perforce is a centralized system where developers interact with a single server. Got it, okay. All right, well, thanks again, everyone. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and hopefully I'll be back at it tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. All right, bye-bye, everyone.